Park on this Monday night. Game one of a three-game series between the rivals, the San Diego Padres and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Welcome into the booth with Mark Dealey and Mark Grant. Mud, a big deal tonight that Matt Latos is not on the mound?
Well, it's a great luxury the San Diego Padres have to have a guy like a swingman in Tim Stauffer. Tim's put up great numbers out of the bullpen. He's the perfect candidate to take that ball tonight on the hill in place of Matt Latos, who's a little bit under the weather. I think we should see pretty good things from Tim Stauffer tonight.
Padres facing the Dodgers, a team that a year ago had the best bullpen ERA in the National League. This year it's been a different story, though.
The bridge to Jonathan Broxton has kind of broke down and is under repair. Saturday, Jonathan Broxton, the big right-hander, hung a slider to Uribe, and it is out of here in left center field. Broxton, 6 blown saves on the year, 4th since the All-Star break. Jonathan was quoted saying, you know what, my confidence is fine. The main thing that they're going to do is just keep battling. And the Los Angeles Dodgers, the bullpen does not look good. So one of the keys the Padres have to do in this series is plain and simple. Get Padilla out of there early and get into that Dodger bullpen because the numbers are not good.
One Dodger reliever you don't want to see, though, Hong-Chi Kuo, the left-hander, has the best ERA in the National League as far as relievers.
And he is going to be the closer now. Joe Torre making that call. He's a tough guy out of that bullpen. He is downright filthy.
Here's the pitching matchup for tonight for the Dodgers. It is Vicente Padilla. He was the opening day starter this season for L.A. Tonight, his first start since coming off the DL for a second time. And Tim Stauffer threw 13 pitches yesterday and took the loss in relief to the Rockies. His only other start this season was on May 9th in Houston, stepping in for Kevin Correa. Tonight's pitching matchup is presented by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. Tim Stauffer steps in for Matt Latos tonight, making his 5th career start against the Dodgers. The lineups and first pitch from Petco Park are straight ahead. Our closed captioning for tonight's telecast brought to you by Corky's, home of the free photo termite inspection. See proof of your termite problem with your own eyes. Call Corky's at 1-800-901-1102. Here's Joe Torre's lineup tonight, brought to you by Floor Trader. Pay way less for your flooring and take it home today. Now open in Lemon Grove. Sednick is the leadoff hitter, followed by Furcal, Loney, Casey Blake now in the cleanup spot, hitting .500 in his last 4. Ethier in the 5 slot. Then Kemp, Terrio, Osmus doing the catching tonight for Vicente Padilla. Our starting pitching profiles brought to you by the Mark Condos. Luxurious downtown San Diego condos from the 300s. Go to themarksandiego.com.
Hey, you hear that knocking?
I do.
You know what that is?
It's opportunity.
Opportunity for right-hander Tim Stauffer. Tim Stauffer, fastball, cutter, slider, and a curveball. He threw 13 pitches yesterday in relief, and quite frankly, I think if Bud Black can get 4 innings out of the right-hander, I think that would be a nice night. Matt Latos on the shelf. Timmy's got to stick with his strength. His arm strength is back. He's throwing strikes. Hopefully he can take it to these Dodgers first few times around in the lineup.
Always fun to bring out the towels. Let's say beat LA.
Hey, their registration is overdue.
July that in.
Yeah, 2009. But right now the streak starts for San Diego, hopefully, as Joe Torre's troops invade Petco Park.
Padre defense brought to you by Easy Turf Synthetic Lawns and Putting Greens. The best looking synthetic grass is now more affordable. Call 866 Easy Turf. Venable in center tonight. Adrian at first, Headley at third, and Hundley catching. Ready to go as Scott Pasednik in the batter's box. He takes a strike, and we are underway.
Don't you just love that first pitch strike?
Set a tone. We get underway a minute tardy at 7:06. 67 degrees at game time tonight.
Well, Matt Latos was scheduled to toe the slab tonight, but a little bit under the weather.
Line fouled on the left field side. Yeah, he had a pretty nasty stomach virus yesterday. And we won't get too graphic, but it was not a friendly one to him. But he's felt much better today, he says, and looks like tomorrow he'll be back on that horse and on the mound for the Padres. Breaking ball whacked down the left field line, and that is just foul. Sednick flirting, especially with his speed, with extra bases there.
I was thinking the same thing you were. But the way that it's been going these last 10 games, that ball possibly kicking up chalk, but not the case as Tim Stauffer now finds himself ahead 1-2.
Pasednik, who was acquired from the Royals. I like the throwback stuff. First game from Pasednik as a Dodger came here at Petco Park last time the Dodgers were in town.
And I think it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out for Tim Stauffer to be successful. Some early quick outs, right?
Absolutely. And a 2-2 pitch fouled away as a 94-mile-per-hour fastball that Sednick got a piece of.
So I think the way you do that is pound the zone early, throw some quality strikes. You can't control the foul balls off the bat of a guy like Pasednik. Look at that guy, bright-eyed.
A full count. Now, the Giants did win today in extra innings, 2-0 in Arizona. The Rockies also won today, beating the Reds 10-5 in Denver. So that's the objective there tonight for the Padres. 3-2 slapped down the left field side. That one will go well foul.
You know, I think one of the things that Tim Stauffer has to do, come to the ballpark every day, being his role, he's got to be on red alert just because the starter might not answer the bell.
Yeah, his role fits into somebody that may need to pitch on a moment's notice. In the air, center field. Venable drifting towards left center to make the catch. A 9-pitch at bat, though, for Pasednik. And that's the way this one begins. So Stauffer needed 9 pitches to get the out, but does get the first out. Getting Pasednik, and will face shortstop Rafael for call. Switch hitting for call. Slaps it right back up the middle and into center field. Stauffer took a swipe at it with his foot. But for call, swinging at the first pitch, he has a 1-out base hit. Look at the standings, brought to you by Mossy Ford and Mossy Toyota in Pacific Beach. We make it happen for you. And Giants actually have one more win than the Padres, but are 2 out on the loss side. So right now just a half game separating the top 2 teams. Rockies only 4 back. That went extra innings today in Phoenix.
Nobody said it was going to be easy, right?
No question. First baseman James Loney. Just look at the issues the Dodgers have dealt with. You know, a team that has doubled the payroll of the Padres is sitting here 1 game over 500, 69 and 68. This game can humble you in a hurry.
No question about that. You sure they've got a lot of talent?
Had the best record in the National League last year, 95 and 67. Did stumble a bit down the stretch. Remember how interesting it got? They came here for a late season series, got swept, and then had to barely hold off the Rockies at the end.
You know, there's also a lot of stuff that happens off the field as well. You can have all the talent you want on that diamond. Of course, there's a lot of stuff that we don't know about as well that goes on in that clubhouse, like with any team.
Check on for call. Always a threat to run. Loney ready for the 0-1, but instead a check on for call, who's back standing up. Padres 38 and 29 at home, 38 and 30 on the road. Nearly identical records now. Can they turn a pair? At Miggy, Adrian, 4-6-3. The Padres turn their 116th twin killing of the season. Padres get this one off the bat of James Loney. A hit nobody left on. And the Padres coming up in the bottom half. Philly cheesesteak burger at Carl's Jr. It's a Philly cheesesteak on a burger. Starting pitching profile brought to you by the all-new Cadillac SRX. The Cadillac, a crossover, is veteran Vicente Padilla for LA tonight.
Watch out for the soap bubble. We'll get into that a little later. Fastball, curve, split, and slider. He'll throw everything. Change speeds, try to fool you, try to trick you.
The Northfield leading off. Takes outside, ball 1.
Pretty straight fastball. He can get up to about 93, 94.
Striking at the knees to Denorfia. Chris, 280 average and 9 Padre home runs. Thompson foul back. Northia led off yesterday's game, which drops Eck back to that 2 spot. Eck has done a fine job at the leadoff spot, but maybe that 2 spot is a little more comfortable area for him. Use his back control.
I think so, and I love David Eckstein in that position. Denorfia's got a guy, he's got some pop in his bat.
Pops it up short right. And Ethier coming in, calling off Terrio. Here's the Padre lineup tonight, brought to you by Alpine Rock and Block. Start your next backyard project with Alpine Rock and Block. Eck in that 2 spot. Ludwig in the 3 hole. Adrian hitting cleanup. Then Miggy, Headley, Venable. Nick Huntley batting in the 8 spot. He's hit well in his last 5. And then Stauffer. Eck sports a .276 average. Ball 1 up and in.
One of the things Randy Reddy said before the game regarding his Padre hitters
Pulled softly foul.
Was to hit the top of the baseball. Okay, now what happens when that happens? You either hit the ball on the ground or you work the ball in a line drive, right?
Right.
Try to prevent hitting the ball in the air and have pop-ups, because Padilla is a guy who's going to give you a lot of fastballs.
In at the knees. And I guess Randy's message, maybe underlying, is don't try to do too much. You're not going to hit a home run that's going to win 10 games.
Exactly. That's a good point. You can't hit a 5-run home run, right?
Right. 1-2. Eck fouls it away.
You see Padilla, this at bat to Eckstein, trying to locate that fastball away, throwing a lot of number 1s up there.
First game back off the DL, his second stint on the disabled list for Padilla. And a bulging disc in his neck. And he jams Eck and strikes him out. Eck, one of the tougher guys to strike out in the NL. 2 down. Dodger defense brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. It's Sednick, Kemp, and Ethier in the outfield. Blake, he's just a steady guy at third base.
Yep. Very solid.
Osmus doing the catching tonight. A former Padre and Del Mar resident.
There's Casey Blake sporting the Larry Parrish beard at third base. You're right, though. He's just a solid ball player.
Very steady. 2 outs, nobody on in the Padre first inning. Ryan Ludwig, the right fielder. 400 ABs now combined between the Cardinals and Padres. As a Padre in 33 previous games, Ludwig 218, 3 homers, 14 RBIs. Towards the hole for called backhands. Plants, fires, down the line. Loney trying to put a tag on, but safe at first is Ludwig. That'll be an infield hit for Ryan Ludwig.
And maybe it's an infield single like that will get Ryan Ludwig hot down the stretch. Ryan Ludwig himself said, you know what, I haven't been up to par. I really haven't been pulling my end of the rope. He's a stand-up guy. You can see the whiff from James Loney on the tag, having to leave the bag to catch that baseball. But back to my point, it might be a hit like that gets Ryan Ludwig going in the lineup.
He's certainly an important piece of it.
Yep.
So a 2-out base runner for Adrian Gonzalez. Swing and a miss and a high fastball. And Osmus going out to the mound to talk to Padilla.
Well, that was a quick visit.
Was it as simple as, hey, don't leave one up in that area? Not to this guy. The infield shift is on. 3 on the right side. With Terrio, the second baseman, playing a short right field.
Well, I don't know if Padilla is really working up a lather at 67 degrees or he's got a serious amount of Brill cream in that hair.
They still make Brill cream?
I think it's still on the market. I mean, look at that.
He's not a quart low, that's for sure. That's pretty slicked up. By the way, they've moved the third baseman, Blake, over to the right side of the infield, so the shortstop for Call is still in his spot. Another fastball.
Padilla working Adrian up. First pitch of the at-bat, fastball up, swung through it, and that pitch there. Let's see if it's, yeah, Ausmus, that's kind of like where he's set, up above the belt buckle.
That fastball near the high outside corner, and Padilla strikes out 2 in the first. The 2-out single by Ludwig. He's left on. Giants at 110, and the first 25,000 fans take home a new Padres patriotic bag presented by Flow TV. Get your tickets today at Padres.com. There's a photo of that great looking bag with the military logo.
Papa's got a brand new bag.
But Papa was also a Rolling Stone. Third baseman Casey Blake in the cleanup spot. 0-2. Tim Stauffer with his 15th pitch. That double play really helped Tim out pitch count wise. You know, you remember he needed 9 pitches to get the game's leadoff hitter Podsednik on a fly ball to center. Then for Call singled on the first pitch, and Loney rounded into a double play. That one down low, 2-2. Because realistically, a guy who threw 13 pitches yesterday can go how long tonight?
As far as pitches?
Yes.
I think each individual is different, but I think Tim Stauffer should be good around for maybe 60 pitches, 65 pitches. I mean, you got to figure you're warming up in the bullpen, right? You're taking those, getting hot. You come into the ball game, you get your 8, and then the intensity level, as we take a look at one of the best bullpens in baseball. Thank you.
Strike 3 on the outside corner. Gets Blake looking. He thought it was ball 4, and he says something to plate umpire Mike Winters.
Two-seamer, what does track say? Well, according to Carl's Jr. Pitch Track, Tim Stauffer gets the call. And that's a hang with him. Good pitch by Tim. So I guess, to get back to your point, it's not only the pitches, but it's the adrenaline and what it takes out of your body and your arm.
So realistically, anything over 4 innings would really be gravy with Stauffer here tonight.
I think that would be awesome.
Right fielder Andre Ethier I heard more spattering of boos from the Padres fans when Ethier came up. Now that Manny is no longer with this team, does this guy kind of draw more of the ire of the Padre fans?
Hey, nobody else to pick on, huh?
Yeah, they got to find somebody else.
And you usually find your best player or their best player. I'm sure he's used to it. Yeah, there's the old pinstripes in brown and orange.
I see you and he go to the same barber.
Yeah.
The 1-2.
Not
a
a
little
bad
bit
pitch.
high. One out, base is empty, and the Dodgers second. The 2-2 to Ethier. He rips one in the air, deep left center field, but it'll still be well playable for Will Venable.
Not tonight. You know, looking at Tim Stauffer's line, Mark, all his relief appearances in that one start, the most that he has thrown as far as pitches was 66. That was back on August 26th. So I would say, what, 60 to 70 pitches maybe? Even though he threw 13 yesterday?
Yeah, that may be on the high end, but yeah, around 60 or so, I would think. Here's his 24th. Off the outside edge to Matt Kemp.
How about Tim hitting 95 now?
Got a little fuzz going there.
Yes, he does. The arm strength is back. That's good to see.
Line to right center field, and Kemp has a 2-out single. The second Dodgers hit.
You know what? One thing I noticed on that play, that hit rather, Kemp hit the line drive, right, over the second baseman's head.
Yep.
But did you notice where Venable was playing? He was playing that way. In fact, if that ball was hitting the air, he would have been right there. That means that Stauffer hit his spot. Kemp just happened to square it up.
Looking for him to go a little bit the other way there. High strike to Ryan Theriot.
Let's take a look. Here's the pitch. It's up and away. He takes it that way. But look at Venable. If that ball's hit in the air, he takes 4 steps to his left and makes the play. Remember, they've got those cheat sheets in their back pocket as well. Those cliff notes.
Where to play each hitter.
In fact, let's see the outfield. It'd be either Hoffman or Renteria. I know.
Yeah.
Works with the infielders as well. Hoff notes? Should we call them Hoff notes?
Oh, nice.
I mean, I don't want to take anything away from any of those coaches down there. I know they all work extremely hard putting the game plan together.
1-1 to Theriot. Foul down the first base side. Theriot came over with Ted Lilly from the Cubs at the trade deadline. Had a little bit of a left knee issue recently. It seems to have put that behind him.
I think Ryan Theriot falls into the category the same as Jamie Carroll. 2 ball players that you'd love to have on your team.
Hard-nosed. 92-mile-per-hour fastball up and in.
I was talking to Rick Monday, one of the radio voices for the Dodgers today before the game, and he said that Jamie Carroll has done everything for the Dodgers except drag the infield.
That's getting it done.
That's getting it done.
2-2 pitch on the ground right side. Eck gobbles it up, then on to first to get Theriot. A 2-out single by Kemp. He's left on. First base runner stranded by LA tonight. Hot Wheels, see full-size custom show cars, and race Hot Wheels before the game. Get your tickets today at Padres.com.
Looks like the 5 freeway right there. A lot of Hot Wheels.
Indeed there are. They're going to have a 40-foot Hot Wheels track that day out of the park in the park so you can race your Hot Wheels.
That brings back a lot of memories.
You still got some Hot Wheels laying around?
We never had Hot Wheels. I just saw the commercials on TV. We were so poor, my mom and dad couldn't get me that.
Cue the violins.
No, I had a Hot Wheel track. Awesome.
Every kid, every boy had Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
Chance to pick up more this weekend here. Garland and Stauffer having a chat. Strike on the outside edge to Tejada.
You know, that's one of the things that I loved doing and miss is being a young pitcher and talking to guys who had a lot of time under their belt. John Garland talking to Tim Stauffer.
Who knows these Dodger hitters? He
absolutely
played with the Dodgers part of last year. It would seem to be a good resource to go to between innings. 1-2. Slapped down the right field side, foul. I know the losing skid is still out there, but Miguel Tejada really seems to have acclimated himself well on this ball club. Not only in the clubhouse, but on the field as well. Breaking ball from Padilla is inside.
You know, one thing I've noticed about Miguel, day in and day out since we've seen him in a Padre uniform, his positive body language. Always upbeat. Doesn't matter what the score is, what the streak is at. His intention is to give you a great at-bat and make a play behind the pitcher.
Wave and a miss. Chase that low fastball. Not happy with himself.
Yep.
Third strikeout for Padilla. One away in the second.
Out of the hand, it looked like a strike, and then the movement on that two-seamer down and in. You can see the frustration on Miggy's face after this pitch. Tracks clearly a ball.
Oh, there it is.
The soap bubble. That's what Vin Scully calls it, the voice of the Dodgers.
Technically a curveball, but boy, it's almost an ephus.
It's a ball. It was off the plate.
Rolled softly towards Terrio. He gloves and throws out Headley.
Rip Sewell, ephus.
Rip Sewell threw the ephus. Didn't Ted Williams hit a home run off him in the
All-Star game?
All-Star game, right? Off the ephus.
Rick Honeycutt on the right, Joe Torre on the left for the Dodgers. A couple of pretty good players there. Joe Torre, MVP.
Joe Torre's playing career
great
is borderline Hall of Fame.
Great numbers.
Obviously, what he's done as a manager is going to get him in.
Yep.
There is that big soap bubble for strike one. The Will Venable. Was it a strike, though?
I think so. This is going to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
On the edge.
He might throw him another one.
Fastball fouled back. .26 pitches for Padilla. 2 of them have been that soap bubble curveball.
There's something off speed there. Had a little dip to it right at the end. That might have been his split finger. Split's about 82 to 85. Got a little bit of sink to it.
Two strikeouts in the inning for Padilla, and he's fanned 4 through the first 2. 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up for LA. 29 seasons as a major league manager. Winning percentage near 54% with 5 different teams. Those 2,315 wins have him 5th all time, behind Connie Mack, John McGraw, Tony La Russa, and Bobby Cox.
Pretty good company right there.
I alluded to this the last half inning. I mean, that right there gets you in the Hall of Fame, doesn't
Absolutely.
it? How many managerial wins?
Guy was a catcher at the big league level, was a third baseman at the big league level, was an MVP.
Yeah, won the 71 most valuable player with the Cardinals when he led the National League in hitting at .363. But his career dates back. He actually caught Warren Spahn's 300th win in 1961. Check swing, appealed, no swing, says Hunter Wendelstedt. Brad Ausmus playing in just his 18th game of the season for the Dodgers.
Brad Ausmus, did he play with Joe Torre?
Kind of seems like it. It's his 18th major league season.
Hey, I tell you what, Brad Ausmus has put together one heck of a big league career. I'm a big fan.
3-time Gold Glove winner.
He can help a pitching staff, no doubt.
Made his major league debut with the Padres. Back in '93, was acquired in a trade from Colorado. Had not appeared in the big leagues with the Rockies, so made his big league debut with the Padres. And he was traded during the '96 season by San Diego to Detroit. His first major league hit came at Wrigley Field off Greg Hibbert. And here he gets robbed of a possible hit by Miguel Tejada. Miggy helping out with the first out of the inning. Are doing more on defense, brought to you by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Well, a couple of things. If Miguel Tejada can get a glove on it, chances are he will glove it and throw you out. Sure, it helps that Ausmus, the veteran catcher, is hustling down the line. Doesn't have blazing speed, but that's a big out for Tim Stauffer and the Padres.
Pitcher Vicente Padilla has 4 hits on the season. That tails inside from Stauffer. 2 balls, no strikes. Padilla takes a strike. Padilla off the end of the bat. Chops it out to short, and Tejada gets his second assist of the inning. Back to the top of the order for Stauffer. Left fielder Scott Podsednik. Strike on the outside corner.
Hey, that year that Joe Torre won the MVP in '71, you mentioned he hit .363. Drove in 137. Hit 24 home runs for the Redbirds of St. Louis.
Now, his first managerial job came as a player manager in '77 with the Mets. But not long into that, he gave up the playing side of it 18 days later, in fact, and retired to become exclusively a manager. Left field, and Denorfia a few steps to his left. 42 pitches for Stauffer through 3 scoreless innings. He's due up second in the bottom half. Check out the latest offers on a brand new Honda Accord. And Cox high-speed internet. Ready for higher speed? Go to Cox.com. Thanks for joining us tonight on this Labor Day Monday. Mark Neely, Mark Grant, and our terrific Channel 4 crew. Hope your holiday weekend has gone well. Hard to believe the summer gone.
Unbelievable. There's a little cool in the air tonight. 67 degrees first pitch. The days are getting shorter.
That ball smoked by Hundley. Deep left field. Podsednik watches it sail. Well out of here. Number 7 for Nick. And it's the Padres who take the lead in the third.
I mentioned earlier that Padilla is going to give you some fastballs to hit. First pitch swinging. Nick Hundley. Whammy. All over that one. Put a notch in that man's shillelagh. There was no doubt about that one. Going to the deepest part of the park. Boy, that's, you know what? That's not a cheapie now. That's like 4 rows up.
That's over 400 feet.
Absolutely.
That's my initial guesstimate. And the Beat LA chant starts with this Padre crowd. These fans have just been waiting to get right back in and have something to cheer about. Breaking ball inside to Stauffer. Well, the congratulations for Matt Latos. Strike 3 on the outside corner with the 95-mile-per-hour fastball. 5th K for Padilla. And the first out of the third.
When we gave the Padre lineups, didn't we feature Nick Hundley and his numbers?
We did. He's been swinging well. That's not his first home run on this homestand. Remember the pinch hit home run he had in the Rockies series, his first career pinch hit home run. It was on Friday night. Breaking ball low to Denorfia. Fly to right field his first time up. One hop right at the bag. Blake throws across, 2 away. Blake was in a few steps near the cut of the grass, starting against the bunt. Was right there to get that on one long hop.
Hey, to elaborate on Hot Rod's home run, when you see a ball hit like that with that trajectory, chance of that ball getting out, pretty slim, don't you think? Especially here at this ballpark.
Yes, because if you get under it just a hair, a lot of times it doesn't go out of here.
And it just goes to show you how much he got it and how strong he is when he hit the ball that high and it went out past the 401 sign. 5 rows.
Ball 1 outside to Eck. He was a strikeout victim in the first. Strike call. 3 scoreless innings so far for Stauffer. Low to Eck, 2 balls and a strike. 403 feet.
Really?
The distance on Hundley's home run.
Well, if it's 401 there, that ball.
It was a little to the left of that, but yeah, I agree with that. I think they could tack on a few extra feet on that.
I was thinking that was going to be more like 415.
Hundley's home run has given the Padres a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the third. On the ground. And Loney, who was playing a bit off the line, takes it to the bag just a step ahead of Eck. But the Padres get on the scoreboard. First pitch of the frame. Hundley takes out to left center field, his 7th of the season. And after 3 from Petco Park, the Padres lead the Dodgers 1-0. November 14th for the Chivas Clásico as the Chivas USA takes on Chivas de Guadalajara at 8 o'clock. This is your chance to see world-class soccer live in San Diego. Get your tickets today at Padres.com/Chivas. Part of the order for LA in the fourth. For Call leading off, fouls it. Padres lead thanks to a Hundley home run in the third. It's the first Padre lead since the 7th inning last Wednesday in Phoenix. They did not lead at all in the Rockies series. So even leads have been hard to come by. Recall single to center in his first at bat. He's behind in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. To his left, Tejada. Going out for Call by a step and a half. Changed speeds on him there, huh?
Yes, he did. Tim looks good. The arm strength is back. He's got movement to all of his pitches. The body language says a lot. He looks confident. And we take a look at the pitch count, 47. Not bad for Tim. Threw a lot of pitches in the first inning. In fact, Podsednik was a 9-pitch at bat.
That's right, to begin the game. So that was a pretty healthy number of pitches right out of the chute. James Loney helped out in that first inning, grounding into a 4-6-3 double play. Off-speed pitch down low. There's a strike to Loney, 2-1. Right at 50 pitches now for Tim Stauffer. Loney belts it to right. That is down. Trying to cut it off. Ludwig can. It goes all the way to the fence. Loney into second. He has his team leading 37th double. Ends a string of 5 in a row retired by Stauffer.
Well, Loney worked the count in his favor, 2-1, and Tim tries to locate a fastball. Just didn't get it in enough. Hit sharply enough to get by Ludwig, and bing, off the wall for a double.
Fourth most doubles in the National League, 37 for Loney. Cleanup hitter, third baseman Casey Blake, who took a borderline 3-2 pitch, which was called strike 3, and Blake had some choice words for plate umpire Mike Winters. Curveball up high, ball 1. And Blake's been one of their hotter hitters.
And as a pitcher, when you're starting, I know Tim Stauffer got the spot start tonight, but you want to know who's been swinging the bat well with runners in scoring position. Those numbers tell you a lot.
A high fly right center field. Venable coast over. Loney's playing it halfway, so he will stay at second.
So breaking balls early in the count to get Blake to pop up.
Two away for Andre Ethier. He flied to center in the second.
They all flock together, don't they? Pitchers hang with pitchers. Relievers have their own little fraternity. Hitters talk hitting. And when the pitchers talk with the pitchers are the smart ones.
Yeah, we saw the block there, and a legitimate question was asked to Bud, why not Wade LeBlanc tonight since he was skipped? Well, Wade threw what Bud described as a rather lengthy bullpen session yesterday with Darren Balsley, so that really eliminated Wade as a good candidate for the start tonight. To right center field, and Ethier a base hit. It's going to bring home Loney with the tying run, and it's 1-1. Ethier's 72nd run batted in, and the Padre lead unfortunately did not last for long.
Remember the pitch to Loney?
In.
Double. This pitch in. And Ethier, watch the hands. Get it through. Fight it off. Pulls it to the second base side of the second base bag. And just like that, the Dodgers tie it up.
Center fielder Matt Kemp with a sharp single to right center in his first at bat. First pitch is a changeup that's outside and low.
You know, looking at that pitch that Ethier hit, that ball is inside even just a little bit more. I mean, it was a ball I thought, if taken, he just fought it off nicely.
It seemed to run, though, a little bit back towards the middle of the plate. But still in on Ethier. Over but low, 3-0. There's a fastball on the outer half for a strike. Ernesto Frieri loosening in the Padres bullpen.
Next pitch will be number 60 for Tim Stauffer.
Got him to chase one there, and it runs to a full count. Good slider.
Well, that's not really the best 3-1 hack to take at a pitch like that, well out of the strike zone. Should be on first base right now.
3-2. Runner takes off, and it's ball 4. Kemp walks, and it's 2 on, 2 outs. Garrett Balsley trots out. But we talked about it earlier. Anything over 4 innings would be exceptional for Stauffer. So if he can get one more out here.
Absolutely. And get out of this mess with just 1 run, I think that'd be a nice night's effort from the right-hander. Buddy just hoping to make one quality pitch here to get Terrio.
To first and caught by Adrian on the line. The Dodgers do get a run on a couple of hits at Strand too. Nice work tonight by Stauffer. Cadillac CTS Coupe. Visit your San Diego County Cadillac dealer and test drive one today. Into the home half of the fourth inning, a 1-1 game. Ryan Ludwig leading off. Ball one tails outside. An infield hit for Ludwig in the first inning, beating the throw from the shortstop for call.
Yeah, I think we've got a wide zone tonight. What do you think?
I do.
Tim Stauffer handshakes all the way around. A nice 4 innings. Darren Balsey saying, way to go, right-hander. Nick Hundley going over some pitches.
Popped up short right. Going out. Terrio has to go a long way to make the catch.
I saw ice cream.
A little snow cone there, didn't you?
Snow cone there on the run, Terrio. Check it out, a long run for the second baseman. He waves off Ethier, and then ball hits the heel of the glove, and then just a little bit into that webbing of Terrio.
Adrian Fand in the first. Saw a lot of fastballs. This one lower in the zone, and he takes it into left field for a 1-out single. When that fastball was primarily elevated to him the first time he came up. Even higher than that.
Absolutely. That looked like it was mid-thigh high, outer half. Adrian beating the shift. Adrian working on the night shift. Going the other way.
I know your Commodores because you're easy, like Sunday morning. Miggy Fand in the second. Breaks his bat, a little flare. Terrio out. It's over his head. Maybe those little breaks are going to start going the Padres' way. Broken bat, base hit. 2 on, 1 out.
Hey, everybody would have loved to see Tejada hit the brick house down the left field line, but a broken bat flare to shallow right center field will be just as nice to get some base runners. And maybe the Padres getting that run back that the Dodgers scored in the top half of the fourth. Fighting off a Padilla fastball. He will gladly sacrifice that bat for a base knock.
That one sailed on over the head of Terrio. Headley grounded out to the right side his first time up. 2 on, 1 out. In the dirt. Well, after the base hit, Salazar. Not sure what that means.
Well, that's the sign language for I love you. Like
well,
this. Yeah, but then
I think it meant a little more than that.
A lot of love.
Yeah. But the sign language, you just put the hand out. It doesn't require you thrusting it towards your own face.
Right.
That was the additional.
Well, maybe he loves himself. I mean, you got to love yourself before you love others. There's Kachi talking with Yorby.
Two-0 count on Chase Headley. Dodgers 1, Padres 1 in the bottom of the fourth. Padres got a Hundley solo shot in the third. The Dodgers tied it in the top of this fourth on an Ethier 2-out RBI single. Another one down in the dirt.
Nice job by Chase Headley laying off those breaky balls in the dirt.
Osmus out to the mound.
Yeah, I think one of the things Osmus might be saying here is, hey, you know what? It is 3-0. Be careful here. You just don't want to lay it in there.
First 3-ball count of the night for Vicente Padilla.
And he's probably asking him, hey, well, what do you feel comfortable with here? 3-0. What do you want to throw? Little slider.
No, did not get a fastball there. Got a little slide piece.
Now Chase Headley's thinking to himself, okay, 3-0, he throws me a wrinkle? What is he going to throw me 3-1? The old guessing game. Do you sit breaking ball or look fastball away?
Breaking ball up and away. You know who's seen the most fastballs tonight, strange enough, has been Adrian. Well, the walk loads him up.
See, this is the situation where I've always been a firm believer where strike one is okay. Because then pitchers might get a little tentative and try to nitpick a little bit. Next thing you know, you're ahead in the count. Let's see what happens here.
Strike one is okay for the hitter.
For the hitter,
right.
Exactly.
Will struck out his first time. And it's a fastball up high.
The ball one's even better.
That'll work nicely for William. Trying to give the Padres back the lead. Did he check? Big call here, and he did not go around, says crew chief Jerry Lane. That is a big call in this sequence.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Did he go?
Oh, if he hits that
yes,
one, the Padres have 2 runs on the board.
He caught a break. Instead of 1-1, it's a 2-0 count.
My goodness.
And we're going to get a visit. Rick Honeycutt. There is some activity on the Dodgers side. Ronald Belisario getting loose. Wow, how nice would it be to get in the Dodger pen in the 4th inning?
Oh, huge. We talked about those numbers before the game. The Dodger bullpen. Since the All-Star break, a 5.19 ERA for the guys in blue. That bullpen down there, they've allowed 114 hits and 77 walks in 130 innings since the All-Star break. It's a lot of base runners.
3 of them out there right now for the Padres with 1 out and a 2-ball no-strike count on Will Venable. Inside, ball 3.
Great eye.
William can watch the next and a high strike. Padilla got the leadoff man. Adrian single. Tejada a broken bat hit. Headley walked. They're loaded with 1 out. 3-1 pitch to Will. Venable, a high fly down the left field side, is slicing and going foul.
Hey, don't be surprised here if Padilla throws an off-speed pitch.
In fact, I would almost slide count on it, right? Yeah. Looking at what he's done so far tonight. From 3-0 to 3-2.
Padilla knows exactly what he wants to throw here. Let's see if there's a sign after 2. Two, 1, wiggle 3. Fastball away.
Venable on the ground right side. Loney has it, goes to second out. Now a race to the bag at first. Safe, and a run scores. 2-1 San Diego. Venable speed beat it out. I'll tell you what, you got to give Padilla credit. He got over there and made that catch on the move, and it was bang bang at first base, but the Padres reclaimed the lead.
You're right, and also, thank goodness for the speed of Will Venable, because this ball is hit sharply Loney, being left-handed, he could just give it up for call with the good hose as well. There's a lot of athleticism going on there. And that
How
is very
close is that?
Oh, good call by Hunter Wendelstedt.
Because Padilla's got the ball going in the glove, but look at the foot, not on the bag just yet, and Will beats him by, what, an inch or two, tops?
That's a great call by Hunter Wendelstedt.
Runners at the corners, 2 outs.
Very resourceful there, making a hat out of that sign.
Nick went deep on the first pitch he saw in the third. Takes a fastball for ball 1. But a nice little stretch here for Nick in his last half dozen games. So Adrian scoring the go-ahead run for Venable, 47th run batted in. Mike Baxter just called up from AAA today in the on-deck circle with the pitcher spot due up next. High chop. Charged by Furcal. Gets, hesitates, hangs on to it, and in comes Tejada. 3-1 Padres. I'm not exactly sure why he didn't make a throw to first there.
I'm right there with you because he's got the good arm. Hundley is running. Sure, it was a high chopper. And I don't want to think that he conceded and just held on to it because he didn't want to throw it away.
He's looking at first.
Yeah.
And maybe he would have thrown out the runner. Maybe not. Probably not. But still worth a throw, right?
Absolutely.
Mike Baxter, left-handed hitter. In his big league debut, a pickoff attempt at second, and diving back is William Venable. So an infield hit for Hundley, and he's knocked in 2 of the 3 runs. There's good numbers for Baxter this year. Look at that on base, 382, 18 bombs. Got under it, popped it up. And in his first big league at bat, pops out to the second baseman, Ryan Theriot. But the Padres respond. They get 2, and after 4, San Diego 3, Los Angeles 1.
Our mid-game recap brought to you by Murray Lampert Construction. Hey, check out their new and improved website at murraylampert.com to see photo galleries, get some remodeling tips, meet the team, and even schedule a no-obligation in-home design and an accurate quote. Mark Neely?
Thanks, Bud. We headed to the 5th. And a new hurler for the Padres, Edward Mujica. Ball one is outside.
Kind of an exciting half inning for San Diego. A lot of base runners and a couple of runs, and the lead for Edward Mujica. So the bullpen trying to pick up Tim Stauffer and the rest of the club to try to get back on that side of the ledger with a W. Tejada with a single, scoring a run. Nick Hundley, hot rod, hitting one out of the yard in the 3rd inning. Adrian contributing with a single and a run scored.
Strike to Ausmus. If you noticed on Mujica's numbers, 66 strikeouts, 5 walks. That leads all major league relievers in strikeout to walk ratio. Basically 13-1.
That's unbelievable.
Fastball is off the outside corner.
That's a little breaking ball, a slider from Mujica. And the thing about that pitch, especially to a guy like Brad Ausmus, he threw it in the right spot. You don't want to throw that for a strike because you'll speed up his bat. And then Ausmus will have the ability to put it down that left field line. So he threw it for a ball well off the plate.
Down and away, and it's full.
That was the changeup, El Diablo.
Eight, 9, and 1 batters for the Dodgers in the 5th. Fouled back. Pitcher spot is due up next for the Dodgers. And looks like Joe Torre is going to pinch hit for Padilla. Ronnie Belliard in the on-deck circle. Walked him on the 3-2 pitch. And Belliard will be announced batting for Padilla. So each starting pitcher goes 4 innings. Now, you know the story of why Stauffer is pitching for Latos tonight, but Padilla just coming back from the disabled list, so only able to go 4 innings tonight. First start back. Maybe trying that outside corner again and misses. Ball 1. Ronnie Belliard, who re-signed with the Dodgers in the offseason after he was traded to them in July of last year in 09, traded from the Washington Nationals and became the starting second baseman down the stretch and in the playoffs last year for LA. Check on Ausmus, who I doubt is going to do much straight stealing in this position. Yeah.
No stolen bases for Ausmus this year.
Doesn't mean they won't hit and run,
right.
But
well, we got some coaches in the stands tonight.
Not happy with the throws to first. Two 2-0. Asking for an appeal, and Wendelstedt says he did not go. Here comes Darren Balsley, Adrian, and Hundley out to the mound.
Well, here's the last pitch. Belliard, does he go?
That's right on the edge there. But
really?
I think he went, because most of the time guys do go around. It's so hard to stop that swing. What'd you think? I know what you think. Shouldn't have asked. Left-hander Joe Thatcher up.
Darren Balsley out to have a chat with Mujica. He's got to put an end to this right now. Working behind. Good double play combination here working on.
Center field. Will was shading him towards right center, but is able to come in to his right and make the running grab. One out.
I was talking to Rick Renteria the other day. We were talking outfield, and I brought up Will Venable's name, and he said that he's been working in center field, and the one thing that Rick said that Will does extremely well is his cut down time to getting to the baseball. You know what I mean by that?
Getting closing speed.
Closing speed. Getting to that baseball, having the athletic ability and the speed to where if you do lose a step or two, you can make that up and make the catch. That's something that Will does extremely well.
Well, with the left-handed hitter Podsednik coming up, that's going to be all for Mojica. He faces two batters and goes a third of an inning with a walk and a man left on that is still his responsibility. This pitching change is brought to you by the Mark Condos, luxurious downtown San Diego condos from the 300s. Go to themarksandiego.com. And here comes Joe Thatcher. Federal Credit Union with record-breaking member growth. Make your move and open an account today.
Okay, Joe Thatcher, the left-handed specialist. Podsednik to face the left-hander here. Mojica only a third of an inning. The ideal thing here would be one or two pitches for Joe to get a grounder and get a double play ball.
Now Thatcher checks on Ausmus.
Once again, not a lot of speed at first base, so. But Podsednik from the left side gets down that first base line quickly.
A chance lefty-lefty matchup here. Then you have Furcal, a switch hitter on deck. But Furcal has a better average left-handed than right-handed. You turn him around to bat right-handed, and then Loney, another left-handed hitter, due up after that. A little bit low. 2 balls, no strikes. Broken bat right side. Adrian has it. Goes to second for one. The step on, and Miggy just wanted to make sure he got an out there and got the lead man. Has caught the ball and then stepped on the bag. But Adrian not shy. He came up with that and immediately down to second to get Brad Ausmus. And with Podsednik's speed, probably wise that Miggy held on to this one.
And Adrian has proven over the years that he's pretty accurate on the run, and Tejada plays it safe. Off the bag, get to the ball, step on the bag, and Miguel says, tranquilo, it's okay. We got the out.
So it turns for call around to bat him right-handed.
Well, just to go back to Mojica, that walk to Brad Ausmus. And you mentioned the walks. Only the 6th walk issued by Eddie in 62 2/3 innings this season.
A rarity. Which I'm sure is why Darren Ballsley came out. You're shocked. The guy, he walked Ausmus and then he's behind 2-0 to Belliard. You're like, whoa, this is not Eddie. Command is his thing. Chop by Furcal. This would be a tough play with the speed on the bases and no chance. Throw back behind the runner. Just getting back was Podsednik. A good idea from Headley. And they wound up almost getting the lead man as it was.
I think a perfect throw from Headley to second base would have gotten him. Because watch, Headley first, no going. Podsednik, see how it's high? So a perfect throw down by the bag where his hand was probably would have gotten him.
Even if it's waist high, better shot. But Podsednik got the hand in.
And credit Brian Runge, the second place umpire. He was all over it.
Yeah, he got the hand in. He was safe.
He was in there. Nice call.
An infield hit for call. It's 2 on, 2 outs. James Loney, the hitter.
Boy, that would have been nice for the Padres to get an out on the bases out of the inning. Thatcher wouldn't have to gear it up again to face Loney with a runner in scoring position. I think Bud Black is just kind of motioned to maybe close the gap a little bit at second base.
Doing whatever they can, the fans.
I'm speechless.
Popped up. Short right. Eck going out. He's calling for it. Dodgers strand 2. They have now left 5. Midpoint of the 5th. 3-1 Padres. Crossing his 7th shutout as the Dodgers beat the Cardinals 5-0. Let's take you back.
Well, you talk about a guy who just gave fits to hitters. He would throw strikes, good command of the fastball, and then drop that screwball on you. Oh, what in the Saturday Night Fever was going on in that crowd? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Did you see the satin-like jackets and the curly hair and the mullets?
Hey,
Nando.
There's ball 1 outside to Denorfia. I know they had their fun with Manny and Manny Wood, but nothing approaches Fernando Mania back in the day.
Nothing. You know why? This guy, he just went out and pitched. He did all his talking with his talent. He was never in the papers, you know, in the magazines. Of course, there was an internet back then, of course, but still. He was the rage, man.
Oh. And still, I'm sure, is a national hero across the border in Mexico. 1-1 pitch. Fouled by Denorfia. Top of the order for the Padres in the 5th. New hurler Ronald Belisario for Los Angeles.
Once again, we talked about that Dodger bullpen not having the good numbers. And for Belisario, throws a fastball, slider, and a change. He can be erratic.
Hey, speaking of which, he hits Denorfia, who drops the bat and trots to first. Paulie Navarro of the training staff giving him a look. And will stay in the dugout. Denorfia trying to shake that one off.
Hey, at least he got the bat out of the way, right?
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure Chris Denorfia will gladly take one for the team. It hits the elbow. Boy, it got the home plate umpire, Mike Winters, as well. So give us a good look. Left elbow.
Got Mike Winters right on the face mask.
Yep.
So the leadoff man is on for the Padres for the first time since Hundley's leadoff homer in the third. Ball one darts inside to Eck. Left-hander George Sherrill starting to heat it up in the Dodger bullpen. You know, that hit by pitch, nothing unusual for the Dodgers this year. That's 52 hit by pitches for their staff, second most in the NL. Looks like a hit and run on there. And Eck came up empty, as did the catcher Ausmus, and Denorfia winds up at second. A steal for Denorfia.
Ausmus just boxed it. Couldn't come over cleanly.
Yeah, from this angle, it kind of looked like a foul tip, but
right.
Eck didn't make any contact, so that lets the Denorfia steal stand and be his seventh. Now he shortens up and then took a swipe at it.
Yeah.
You don't usually see David do that.
I tell you what, I get nervous when Eckstein squares like that. You got Belisario out there on the mound. Remember Eck getting one in the chest before, and he's trying to chop that one down on the ground.
Trying to move that runner over to third.
Whoa.
Denorfia at second. Nobody out. 3-1 Padres in the bottom of the fifth. Eck towards the middle. Denorfia will hold as Furcal throws him out. You could tell Denorfia made a decision there in a fraction of a second, as that ball was just a little behind him, and he elected not to risk trying to play at third.
And you'd rather be safe than sorry. You don't want to get thrown out at third base. Okay, you get an out. Dodgers get an out, but you still have that runner in scoring position. Ball is struck. He kind of leaned that way a little bit, but quickly back to second base. And that's the smart move. And you can see a little frustration on David Eckstein's face. He wanted to get that runner over. He takes pride in doing that.
Ball one to Ludwig. Great example, though, Denorfia there on the bases of the split-second decisions that players have to make.
Yep.
I mean, that really was a borderline one. Maybe he could have gone, but it was no sure thing that he was going to make it to third.
Right. Plus, you have to take into consideration the arm of Furcal.
Absolutely, which is a good one.
Yeah.
A strike to Ludwig. Ryan with an infield hit in the first, and in the fourth popped out to the second baseman Terrio. Rip and a miss by Ryan, a ball and 2 strikes. Out on strikes, Ludwig for the second out. Belisario's first strikeout. First base open, and let's see if they even mess around at all with Adrian here. And it looks like they will not. They'll intentionally put him on.
Hey, with the wildness of Belisario, this isn't a given now. And we've seen guys airmail him back to the screen. He's got a little fuzz on it, too, at 83.
Once this is completed.
Whoa. Adrian could have taken that pitch down the left field line for a double.
This will be the 75th walk issued to Adrian and the 24th time this year he's been walked intentionally. Two on, 2 outs for Tejada. By the way, only Albert Pujols has more intentional walks in the National League this year than Adrian. Pujols at 33 and Adrian now 24. Off that low outside corner, ball 1 to Tejada, who has singled and scored and struck out.
Yeah, Miguel's got to be really patient here after throwing 4 wide ones. You take into consideration the erratic control of Belisario. Work another walk, possibly.
2-0. Lead runner takes off. The pitch is a strike and no throw to third. A straight uncontested steal for Denorfia, his second of the inning.
Belisario looked like he was one looking at second base. Casey Blake, not a move over at third base. Brad Ausmus trying to frame the pitch, and Larry Boa can only take off his helmet and scratch his head.
2-1. And a foul that got a piece of him in the batter's box and rolls up the line.
And the reason why I'm chuckling is because if you take a look, Denorfia off.
Adrian stayed put.
Yeah.
And as you said, Blake wasn't covering third. It really caught them all by surprise.
The reason why I'm chuckling is because I can only imagine what was coming out of the mouth of Larry Boa there on the bench.
It was colorful.
There he is.
I wish he'd speak his mind one time.
Yeah,
Larry Boa.
Don't candy coat it, Larry.
2 on, 2 outs. 2-2 pitch. Jammed him and fouled left side.
You know what? Remember Padilla? He had success with Tejada going down and in with that two-seamer, and you can see Belisario, who doesn't have that good of a control. He's trying to go back down in there as well.
And they struck out Tejada on a similar pitch in the second. Padilla, by the way, went 4 innings, 3 earned runs, 5 hits, and struck out 5. Left side to his left. Blake going the short way to get the force out of Adrian to end the inning. The Padres had a runner at second, nobody out. Do not score in the 5th. And strand a pair. They've left 5, and we have finished 5 at Petco Park. Park for a ball game after a tough year with the economy. Well, it's time for Jenny Cavnar's All-Star Night Out with Tony Gwynn Jr. coming up September 24th when the Padres host the Cincinnati Reds. Just go to Jenny's Facebook page and nominate a family who has experienced a layoff in the past year. Bring them out to Petco Park, get an Adrian autograph.
Yeah. I'm sure Jimmy Malone was asking those guys, hey, you doing your bench presses?
Jim Malone, the Padres strength coach.
Adrian saying, hey, remember, kids, there's a lot of hits the opposite way now if you're playing Little League.
Ryan Webb in for San Diego.
All right, close game, middle of the ball game, and a great opportunity for Ryan Webb. So Bud Black piecing together this game with different arms out of that bullpen. Decent numbers for Ryan. At times, maybe a little erratic, but more hits than innings pitched by a few. Hard sinker baller.
Yeah, if he's got that two-seamer working, he can be very effective. And the first one right there is a strike on that two-seam fastball.
Remember, he lowered his arm angle a little bit to create a little bit more movement to go along with that velocity. Sure, it should work quite nicely for Ryan.
Breaking ball high to Casey Blake. Blake fanned looking in the second on a 3-2 pitch and fly to center in the fourth. Strike two, 1-2. Blake, then Ethier and Kemp in the Dodgers' sixth. 3-1 San Diego. Hundley a solo homer in the third made it 1-0. Then Ethier, RBI base hit in the fourth, tied it up. Padres in the bottom of the fourth. An RBI fielder's choice for Venable and an infield hit for Hundley brought in another run. 3-1 Padres in the sixth. Webb's 2-2 to Casey Blake.
Yes, he did.
No, says first base umpire Hunter Wendelstedt. I don't think there's any doubt he went around here, did he? Oh, yeah.
I think he went. That bat was square to the infield. Therefore, if the ball would have hit the bat, it would have ran out to the pitcher.
That's really the thing you look for.
That's what I look for.
3-2 pitch, and it's fouled up the third base side. I remember Blake was called out on strikes in the second on a pitch that looked off the plate, so maybe a little baseball karma coming right back here.
Yeah.
Giving him a chance here, 3-2, and he rips it towards Eck, past Eck, and into right field, a leadoff base hit for Casey Blake. So he took advantage of not getting rung up earlier in the at-bat. And the leadoff man is aboard, bringing the tying run to the plate. And the always dangerous Andre Ethier.
Hey, another factor here for San Diego. Remember, for a while there, most of the season, Joe Thatcher was the only left-handed bullet down in that bullpen for San Diego. Well, now, with the addition of Cesar Ramos,
who came back yesterday,
we could possibly see him in this game now that Joe Thatcher has been used early.
Especially with the key lefties in their lineup. Yep. Sednick, Loney, Ethier. First pitch breaking ball, strike one. Ethier against Stauffer. Fly to center in the second and then single to right center, driving in Loney with the Dodger run in the fourth. To left center field, Venable. You see it drop in. It's cut off by Denorfia. The lead runner, Blake, down to second, and it's 2 on, nobody out. Ethier didn't exactly square it all the way up, but he got enough to get it over the infield and dropped it into left center for his second hit of the game.
Well, off the end of the bat, and that's going to happen a lot with a guy who throws hard and throws a two-seamer. Ethier out in front of it, but just finds part of that bat to dump it into left center field.
On the horn to the bullpen again. Nope. Look like Friere going to get up again.
Yeah.
Matt Kemp looks at ball one outside. Kemp has singled and walked, so yet to be retired tonight. And indeed it is Friere who was up earlier, but Stauffer got in a little bit of a jam in the fourth. Ryan steps off. Kemp playing in his 138th game. He's not missed a game this year for the Dodgers. The only Dodger that can say that. Leads the National League in games played. There's a strike from Webb.
You know, there's one thing throwing the two-seamer fastball away to a right-handed hitter for a strike. But then it's another thing throwing it 95, 96 with that same movement. That's tough to hit.
Two on, nobody out in the LA sixth. Fastball away to Kemp. Ryan Webb, the fourth Padres pitcher tonight. Stauffer started and went 4. A third of an inning for Mujica. 2/3 of an inning for Thatcher. Straight back.
This is a Johnny Holstaff night.
Gonna need a lot of them.
Yeah. You've heard of Johnny Holstaff, right?
Sure. Who's getting the start today? Johnny Holstaff. That happens.
Everybody gets ready.
Late in the year. Two-two pitch. Got him. Hundley hung on. A strikeout of Matt Kemp for the first out.
A huge strikeout from the sinker baller. It sounded like Kemp may have gotten a piece of it.
I think he did.
And Nick Hundley holding on to it for the out. Now forced at any base. A double play still in order. Huge for Ryan Webb. Let's go in Webbo, man.
Second baseman Ryan Theriot. You know, grounded out and lined out.
The thing about Theriot, he is such a tough hitter. He uses the whole field. He can fight off a two-seamer, try to go the other way, so be heads up on that right side of the infield.
Ball one outside. Ryan Theriot from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Played his college ball at LSU. Long look at second by Webb, and then he steps off as Blake had made a little move towards third base. Both sides going. There's Ramos on the right. Friere on the left. Softly left side. Chase cuts it off. He gets the out at first. The other runners advance. But two in scoring position. The tying runs in scoring position. And the catcher up for the Dodgers, Brad Ausmus. A first pitch strike this time from Webb. Ausmus in the third, grounded out to short. Then he walked, leading off the fifth. Batting here in the sixth with 2 on, 2 outs. 3-1 Padres. Time called. Took something off and didn't get that inside corner. And the slider, 1 ball, 1 strike. Ausmus back to the hill. Webb trots towards the bag, the underhand toss, and he gets out of the inning. The Dodgers strand 2 in scoring position and have now left 7 tonight. Right here on Channel 4 San Diego tonight with John Weisbarth and Bob Scanlon. Sequan Casino, San Diego's Daycation Getaway.
Hey, Padre fans, we've got our lucky charm here tonight. That's Carson on the right, along with his dad, Mike. Carson is 3-0 coming to the ballpark this year.
Stay hot.
Absolutely. And you know what? He called Tom Garfinkel. He says, you know what, Tom? Carson. He's going through some tough times right now. We wish him well. He's a little under the weather. And he called Tom. He said, hey, Tom, you know what? The Padres are struggling right now. I'm 3-0 at the yard. I'm going to break the streak.
That's awesome.
So he's taking in a big league ball game with his dad, Mike. Carson, we wish you well. God bless you, kiddo.
Way up high from Sherrill. This is new Dodger lefty George Sherrill in the game. Strike to chase, 1-2.
Well, of all the call-ups that the Dodgers made, Sherrill still the lone left-hander in the bullpen for Joe Torre.
With the exception of Quo, yeah. Who's not a closer.
Exactly. My
right.
bad. Thank you.
But still, they've got
4,
5, what about 8 or 9 righties now in their pen with the call-ups. There's Quo front and center, and Weaver, Broxton. The Dodger bullpen, which was the best in baseball a year ago, best in the National League ERA-wise, and George Sherrill was a big part of it after coming over in a trade with the Orioles. He's not been able to put up similar numbers in 2010 for Joe Torre. Fastball up high, and it's a full count. Fly ball to center field, and Matt Kemp back into his left makes the jogging grab. One out.
Well, Sherrill's a 3-pitch pitcher. Fastball, slurve, and a change. Doesn't throw hard. He's got a little bit of deception in that delivery. He has a tendency to short arm it a little bit, so the ball will have a tendency to jump up on you. Fastball is only about 89, 90 miles an hour.
But in 30 appearances last year for the Dodgers, 1-0, a 0.65 ERA. His ERA is 6 runs higher than that this season. Good strike one on Venable. Will 0 for 2, but does have an RBI on a fielder's choice. Shortens up and takes just off the outside corner. Breaky ball and a swing and a miss. That curve takes it to 1-2. Strike 3 call on the outside corner. Joe certainly can still be tough on those lefties.
Yep. It looks like Joe Torre is going to make a change with the action done in that Dodger bullpen.
Sherrill, a 167 batting average against from lefties, and with the right-handed hitter coming up, Joe Torre looks like he will indeed make the change. 2/3 of an inning for Sherrill. This pitching change is brought to you by San Diego Harley-Davidson. Always country first. Four dealers. Octavio Dotel, the 4th Dodger pitcher tonight.
This guy's pretty much done it all, huh? He was a closer for the Buccos of Pittsburgh. You see his numbers split between Pittsburgh and Los Angeles. Kind of a violent motion, huh, from the right-hander?
Herky-jerky.
Full effort. Fastball, slider, and a curve. Mid-90s to low 90s on that fastball. He was 21 for 26 with the Buccos in save opportunities.
Right down central.
I think they got rid of some salary, though, when they dumped him, right?
Yeah, they traded James McDonald, the primary piece that went to the Pirates, a pitcher. Dotel's been as tough on righties as Sherrill has been on lefties. Dotel holding opposing right-handed hitters to a 155 average. He's ahead of Hundley. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Can expect a wrinkle here.
Wrinkle finishes down and away, 2-2.
So Nick Hundley recognizes that wrinkle, and he's hoping to put a little bit of starch on that wrinkle and iron it out like he did that home run earlier in the game.
He's knocked in 2 of the 3 Padre runs. Hotel gets the strikeout. Going back to the fastball. Padres go down in order for the first time since the second inning. After 6, it's 3-1 San Diego. Subway, $5 footlongs taste like a fortune, but they're still just $5. So many favorites like Blazing Buffalo Chicken, $5 all day, every day. Subway, eat fresh. And by Cox Advanced TV, ready for more choices? Go to Cox.com. So pleased to have you with us tonight. Mark Daly, Mark Grant, and Channel 4 crew. We move into the 7th, a 2-run lead for the Padres, and it now goes into the hands of Luke Gregerson.
Luke last toed the slab a couple days ago, 2/3 of an inning, kind of a rough outing. 3 runs, 2 hits. It was a 30-pitch effort. That was against the Colorado Rockies. That was back on Saturday. It was that day game. I'm trying to remember. I mean, numbers. You can look at the numbers, but yet look at the way he pitched. And I, quite honestly, can't remember if they were hit hard or if they were bleeders.
Yeah, that was the Saturday game on Fox. And that the Padres dropped to the middle of that series. Jamie Carroll's going to bat for the pitcher Dotel to begin the 7th.
I mean, you can look at a pitcher's line and, gives up 3 runs and, 4 hits in only 1 inning. Well, how many of them were broken bats? How many of them were, to the wall?
So Carroll comes off the bench. We'll be interested to see if at some point in this series we see John Lindsay off the bench for the Dodgers. That's a soft ground ball to short. Maybe he's got to muscle up on him and he throws out Carroll. Carroll has an 8-game hitting streak. You have just seen it end right there with the 1 pinch hit opportunity.
Well, that's a great start for Luke Gregerson, getting that leadoff hitter out here in the 7th.
But I mentioned John Lindsay, who was called up by the Dodgers. He's a 33-year-old who's played in the minor leagues for well over a decade. He's going to get his first chance for Joe Torre, I hope, at some point. Good story.
Yes.
There's a strike to Podsednik. Strike 2 call. Fly to center, fly to left, and reached on a fielder's choice tonight. Podsednik hits the 0-2 pitch in the air to deep right field. Ludwig back, it's over his head, and Podsednik goes deep to make it a 3-2 game. His first as a Dodger after 5 in the American League this year with the Royals, and it's 3-2. An 0-2 pitch that he takes out to right.
It's a slider that's on the inner half of the plate, and watch Podsednik just drop the head of the bat. Nice, easy swing. And that's over the auxiliary scoreboard. Like right into his wheelhouse there. Down and in.
Well, Podsednik's most famous home run, one that won a World Series game for the White Sox in 2005, and that slapped to the alley in left center field. It is cut off on a bounce by Denorfia, but Furcal is aboard, and with his speed representing the tying run with 1 out.
Darren Balsley on the phone, and you know what? Mike Adams starting to heat up. You know, I'm not one to, you know, I hate to speculate. And we've been spoiled with the way Luke Gregerson has thrown the ball. Quite frankly, with the way the whole bullpen has thrown the ball this year, up into this point, right? But, you know, Luke, and, you know, every reliever is going to hit his little spurt to where he's going to have a bad outing, right? Just wondering, you know, if everything's right. When you go through a whole season, a number of factors come into play over the course of a long season.
Adrian taking the ball back to the mound. You say something to Gregerson?
It could be just a matter of bad pitches, for all I know.
Heath Bell has not pitched much recently.
Yeah, that's another big factor, not getting to Heath.
Hasn't had a save opportunity since August 19th. So apparently Adrian was buying some time, and the Padres desperate for a win, a W that they haven't seen in a while. They're going to make a change right here. This pitching change brought to you by the Mark Condos. Luxurious downtown San Diego condos from the 300s. Go to themarksandiego.com. Adams will relieve Gregerson. Credit Union, your winning team for service and savings. Check out our great car loan rates today.
Mike Adams trying to pick up Luke Gregerson and inheriting a base runner here in the 7th. Luke Gregerson usually the guy to finish out the 7th inning. Mike also inherits 1 out. Great numbers from the right-hander. And once again, Bud Black trying to piece together this game using the arms in the bullpen as AC. Aaron Cunningham will patrol left field, and Chris Denorfia will move over to center.
So a double switch with Gregerson lifted, so Cunningham batting in the 9 spot. And Adams the new pitcher in the 7 hole. A third of an inning for Gregerson. Blake on deck. Loney, a left-handed hitter, due up next for LA. 3-2 game now. The Dodgers have actually out-hit the Padres tonight, 9-5. Loney doubled in the 4th and scored their first run. And Scott Podsednik home run has made it 3-2. The tie. Besides the double, he's grounded into a double play and popped out to second. For Call. He's had a 3-hit game now for Call. Back standing up again.
Loney has grounded into 13 double plays this year. He is tied with the lead in that category with Matt Kemp.
Ball one outside to Loney.
In fact, make that 14 because Loney grounded into that double play in the first inning. So 14 double plays.
Another throw to first this time for Call, has to dive back in. Call can still run. He's had some time with the DL this year, but he has 19 steals. Not running, and a fly ball left center field. On the run, Denorfia just moved over to center and makes the catch. That ball stayed up. I thought off the bat it may sink quicker than that, but it stayed up long enough. Denorfia even caught it over his head for the second out.
And slicing off that left-handed bat. At first you're thinking, oh, it's going to find the left center field gap, but Denorfia just moving over to center field. Goes into cruise mode to squeeze it for the out.
Cleanup hitter Casey Blake has a 1-for-3 night with a single to right. His last time up, leading off the 6th. Back standing for Call. Just off the DL for Call. Had a back issue, a lower back strain. Just came off the disabled just a couple of days ago. First pitch strike to Casey Blake on the slider. $14 home runs for Blake. He's driven in 58. For Call, takes off, pitch down, throw to second, not in time. Good gather there by Eck. The throw low, and he put a quick tag, but for Call, gets the steal, his 20th, and the tying runs at second.
Did you notice Eck on this steal as we take a look? Good jump from Furcal, but watch Eckstein. Two-handed grab. Keep it on the runner like a magnet in case his hand comes off the bag. And then trying to transfer it. Oh, did he come off or did his hand stay intact?
In fact, the left hand came off as that left foot was getting to the base, but it was all in a blink of an eye. Well, for call the tying run at second. Coming up, the San Diego Hyundai dealer 7th inning stretch your dollars. Get more miles per gallon and the assurance of America's best warranty. Go to SanDiegoHyundaiDealers.com.
Ed Barnes did. Good pitch.
Road part of the zone for a strike 1 and 2. Mike Adams, the 6th Padres pitcher of this game. One, two to Blake. And instead of stepping a look at for call. Another look that way.
Hey, it would Chase Headley playing way off the bag at third base. You know, you wouldn't put it past for call to take that 90 feet, right?
Well, at the least just trying to keep him close here, because a base hit to the outfield could bring him in for a second. Keep him a little closer anyway. Low to Blake, 2 and 2.
And plus, you've got the front door closed there with Blake, the right-handed hitter. For Nick Hundley, he'd have to go either in front or behind the hitter if, in fact, Furcal chose to steal third base.
Furcal singled after the Podsednik home run. Furcal the tying run. 2-2 pitch. Just off the outside corner. That slider off by a hair, and it's 3 and 2.
Yeah, that was a ball. Good call by Mike Winters. That's off the plate.
Got Ethier on deck. 2 outs. Big 3-2 pitch to Casey Blake. Fastball inside, and he lost him. Well, the Dodgers have the tying run at second. Go ahead run at first with 2 outs, and they bring up the guy that arguably has been their best clutch hitter in recent, well, not only this year but last.
Hey,
for sure.
You know, I'm not telling you anything new that when the Padres have been going through what they've been going through the last 10 games, every pitch, every at-bat is just, it's pressure-packed.
Having to grind out every inch of it.
And that's why not only physically but mentally to go through something like this to try to get on the W side. And you know what? An at-bat like this, in this situation, in this game, if you get Ethier here and you go on to win this game, this could be a turning point of a ball club.
Big time. Big at bat. Ethier 2 for 3 tonight with an RBI. Slider low, ball 1. Matos unable to go tonight due to a stomach virus that hit him primarily yesterday. There's a strike. And the Padres hoping to have Matos on the mound tomorrow.
And hopefully going for win number 2 in a row. Right?
How nice would that be? Ethier fly to center in the second. Singled in the 4th to right center driving in a run, and single to left center in the 6th. Outside with the slider, 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 pitch to Ethier. Came in on him, fooled there by a slider.
Yep. He wanted it down, it was up and in, and he got away with it. Now, even if he makes contact with that pitch, it looks like it's probably a pop-up or a foul ball.
Fouled away the fastball. Third of an inning yesterday for Adams. Back on the hill today trying to preserve what is a 1-run lead, but the tying and go-ahead runs on base for LA. Crowd kicks up the volume. But Ethier counteracts that and steps out, and then Hundley will go to the mound. Quick decision on pitch there. Pitch selection.
I'm calling slider. Don't leave it down and in, though.
Where are you putting it?
Maybe backdoor variety.
Two-two pitch. Got him. Below the knees with that slider to strike out Ethier to end the inning.
Down and in, but not for a strike. Perfectly placed.
Dodgers strand 2 more. They get a run though in the inning on the Podsednik home run.
Go back to that last strikeout. Mike Adams versus Andre Ethier. Didn't get the call, but a lot of fastballs, sliders away. Getting Ethier to think away. Now, that was a hanging one, but just enough. Now the foul ball away. What does Adams do? He makes him fish for the slider. So good pitches away. A little bit of wrinkle every now and then. But that was a huge pitching sequence by Mike Adams to put away one of the better hitters that the Dodgers have, if not in the whole league of baseball, in the National League. That was huge, leaving those 2 runners on base.
It was an intense half inning there.
It was a grind.
Cunningham came in as part of the double switch in the top of the inning. And Jonathan Broxton, who's lost the closer's role for the 2nd time this year for the Dodgers, now on in relief here in the bottom of the 7th. .97 miles per hour and fouled away. 0-2 pitch. Fastball up high.
Well, we know that Broxton throws hard, but we also know that if you throw hard and you don't throw it for strikes, and then you have to throw it over the plate when you fall behind, you get knocked around. He can get the fastball to 99, 100 miles an hour.
Down the right field side, fair and into the corner. Cunningham chugging for second. Picked up right near the foul line by Ethier, and it's a stand-up double for Cunningham to begin the Padres 7th. Well, they're a little behind it, but Broxton supplying a lot of the power, and Cunningham able to take it down that right field line. Loney, the first baseman, thought he had a shot at this.
Well, that was what I was talking about. That pitch was down and in. It's a fastball, and you make a good point. Look at him stay on that baseball, inside out the other way, supplying all the power. That fastball didn't have a lot of movement to it. It's a good way for the Padres to start off the bottom of the 7th.
Top of the Padres order, and center fielder Kristen Orfia. Hit at the corners.
Get him over.
See if Orfia is going to try to bunt him along. He will indeed take a swipe at it and miss. Pickoff attempt, but stepping in front of the bag for call, and back safely is Cunningham. Ausmus is a Gold Glover, even here late in his career. Not shy about gunning it around the bases. Broxton's 0-1. That runs inside at 97. The little extra zip you get from Broxton, upper 90s, does that make it that much more harder to try to lay a bunt down, even if it is a fastball?
Well, especially when his control is out of whack a little bit. You don't know whether you're getting one right at the lips or you're going to get it on the outside corner on the black. But I would say he doesn't have a lot of movement like a two-seamer. So it'd be easier to bunt if it's a good strike because it's straight. See the uncertainty of where that ball's going to go.
Easier to bunt being a relative term. Still certainly a very difficult task facing a guy with that kind of heat. I would think breaking balls would be easier to bunt.
Really?
Some of them.
Because I think a hard slider would be.
No, I was thinking curveball.
A curveball.
Yeah. It's a 2-1 pitch. Ooh. Fastball, and he didn't connect, but did go.
I don't know whether Chris wanted to try to bunt that one or was caught in between and pulled it back. Didn't pull it back in time. Did not look like a good effort. Caught in between, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Tried to bail out of it late, a little too late. So now with 2 strikes, corner infielder still in. Scooped up by Ausmus, and that saved the base right there for LA.
Ausmus recognizing that slider in the dirt and taking it right in the glove.
Leadoff double by Cunningham. The 6th San Diego hit of the night. Padres clinging to a 1-run lead here in the 7th. A couple of shakeoffs from Broxton, and he steps off.
Loney is playing way off the bag at first base.
He has backed up, as has Blake now with 2 strikes and a 3-2 pitch. That'll get the runner over. He won't get the sacrifice, and Broxton wins Race to the bag by a step and a half. But Cunningham over to third, so Denorfia does do his job. He didn't get the bunt down, but he does advance the runner to third.
Hey, some guys it's easier to hit behind the ball and poke the ball to the right side rather than sacrificing yourself and to put a bunt down. I mean, look, he hits the top half of that baseball rather than trying to work underneath it. But he's telling himself, you know, I better make darn sure I get on top of that baseball to hit it on the ground.
And I think that was really the point I wanted to make earlier. I mean, that bunting's never an easy proposition, but trying to bunt a guy like Broxton with the speed, the movement, no easy chore. And a runner at third for Eck. And the infield comes in for the Dodgers.
Another guy who can give you a good situational at-bat with the infield drawn in, David Eckstein.
They pitch out. The squeeze is not on. It's not a bad thought, though, is it?
Yeah, it isn't a bad thought. But I just have enough confidence in David Eckstein to where he doesn't strike out all that much. He's a guy who can put the ball in play. He can elevate something to the outfield.
Don't take yourself out of the inning if they do pitch out like they just did. Takes a hack at the 98-mile-per-hour heater. Ball and a strike.
Although he does have good enough bat control to where he can put something down, and it'd have to be a great play by the pitcher or the infielders to get that tag out at the plate. I just me personally feel more comfortable with Eck swinging away.
Eck is struck out, grounded to first, and grounded out to short. There's Cunningham at third, one out. Strike is the decision on the outside corner. Took a borderline fastball. He's behind 1-2.
Roll the cap, right ear with the right hand. Let's see what that is.
Can we start stealing signs here?
Yeah, why not?
Just a bit inside.
He wanted it. See, that's the erratic pitching of Broxton. He wanted that one down and away, but it leaked on the inside part of the plate.
And it was also 98 miles an hour.
Yeah.
The 2-2. Eck trying to send it on the ground to the right side, fouls it. And I noticed Cunningham was off on contact there. So that's another decision the Padres have to make here. Contact play. It's on the ground, off with first contact.
Well, you've got Ryan Ludwig on deck, who singled in the first and popped up in the fourth and struck out in the fifth.
Eck again trying to take it to the right side. Fouls off the 99-mile-per-hour fastball as Broxton continuing to flirt with the century mark.
That was the Nina fastball. 99 red loop balloons. Trying to go on the outer half. Randy Reddy as cool as a cucumber, as always. As is Joe Torre.
Yes. Cunningham at third, one out. Broxton's 2-2 to Eck. Fly ball, center field. Let's see if it's deep enough. It looks like it may. Kemp makes the catch. Cunningham tags. The throw's going to be way offline. Eck getting it done. A sac fly, his 24th RBI, and it's 4-2 Padres. Padres get that run back, but the Dodgers scored in the top of the inning on the Podsednik homer.
Well, after getting the call off the plate for a called strike, David Eckstein's the first one to admit, I feel comfortable hitting with 2 strikes. He gets a pitch up in the zone, elevates it, and Aaron Cunningham will score easily on that sac fly. And for David Eckstein, got a little captain in you?
Ludwig to right center. Ethier moves over to make the catch. But the Padres get that run back. Cunningham scoring, and at the end of 7, 4-2 Padres. Brought to you by Fan Diego, your energy savings expert. For locations, visit fandiego.com. For ceiling fans, go to Fan Diego. And there's a great fan of the game. Carson there on the right.
And his dad, Mike, on the left. Carson and Mike Weiner enjoying a big league ball game, hoping to go 4-0. Carson is 3-0 this year when he attends a ball game here at Petco Park. He is our fan of the game.
Kemp leads off the Dodger 8th inning. First pitch strike for Mike Adams. Kemp has singled, walked, and struck out. Kemp, Terrio, and Ausmus, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Down low. With that slider, a ball and a strike. Padres led 1-0. Dodgers tied it. Padres led 3-2. 3-1, that is. Dodgers made it 3-2. Padres getting the run right back in the bottom of the 7th. That's right down central for a strike. 1-2. Good fastball from Adams. Giants and Rockies, for that matter, both winners today. So the Padres looking for a win to maintain their lead in the NL West. In the air down the right field side, fading towards foul territory, and Ludwig and Adrian see it drop in the seats.
Just a little extra work here for Mike Adams, huh?
Important. Perception question here. Does the game seem like, and I'm not talking time-wise, but that it's gone longer than 7 innings?
Seems like it started last week.
I agree with you.
Yeah, it
because
does.
when you're grinding out every out.
Yeah, and the pitching changes, of course,
Yes.
in trying to work matchups in the middle of the game. Short starts from Padilla. And Tim Stauffer did a fine job spot starting for Matt Latos tonight.
Another foul down the right field side. But I guess the other part of my point is, we talked with Randy Reddy repeatedly during this skid, and his mantra has always been, hey, just stay calm, don't panic, just do what you've been doing. But it's hard to really follow that. I mean,
sure.
If you're a player, maybe you press a little bit. Adrian mentioned that. And maybe some guys are pressing a little bit. When you do that, every out just seems to take on added significance. Instead of just playing relaxed and cool and easy. Adams from his backside. What a play by the Padre pitcher. Kemp back to the box, and Adams reached behind. Landed on his wallet, and then threw out Kemp at first.
Hey, maybe the ball is starting to bounce the Padres' way. Hey, Rocky, watch me pull the rabbit out of my head. That's a huge out and a nice play. Who said you can't play as a big leaguer sitting on your backside, huh? That's nice.
Terrio fouls and it takes the mask of Hundley off. It was like a haymaker.
Nick's already laughing it off. He's okay.
Folks, you would be shocked how light those catcher's masks are. Listen in.
Remember, you and I were in Florida.
Yeah, Yorbeat's mask and Nick's were there in the clubhouse, and they were just hanging there. Picked it up.
Very light.
Light as a feather is a bit of an exaggeration, but shocking how lightweight they are these days. Breaking ball, and he looked to bunt, and a strike to Terrio. 0-2. Tim Stauffer got the start tonight. 4 quality innings, allowed only 1 run. Found out this morning he would be starting tonight. Adams gets it by Terrio, and 2 outs in the 8th. Second strikeout for Mike.
Great location on the fastball. Edward Mujica looking in on the strikeout. He pitched a third of an inning, hoping to contribute to a Padre victory. And Terrio way behind on that one.
Reed Johnson will bat here for Ausmus. So Johnson batting here in the 8th spot for Ausmus. Pitcher spot due up next, and Jay Gibbons in the on-deck circle. A wave and a miss by Johnson. Reed Johnson went to high school at Temecula Valley and played at Cal State Fullerton. Maybe a little bit low. Ball and a strike.
Chad Billingsley on the left. Clayton Kershaw on the right.
The starting pitchers the next 2 nights for the Dodgers. It'll be Kershaw tomorrow, the guy on the right. Billingsley in the 3rd game. Now the right field side foul. Well, one thing with Latos being scratched tonight and hopefully going tomorrow, you got Kershaw against Latos. Talk about some young guns. Young lefty for the Dodgers, the young right-hander for the Padres. Which to be your matchup in Game 2 of the series tomorrow night. The Honda Dealer pregame show on at its normal time at 6:30 tomorrow night. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on him there. Adams had Johnson way out in front. Adams needed for an inning and 2/3 of scoreless relief tonight. Hughes, life is a lease. Negotiate well. Into the home half of the 8th. Mike Adams tonight. An inning and 2/3, 3 strikeouts. Did not allow a hit. Walked one. Inherited tying run on base in the 7th. Got out of that. Some smiles in that dugout. It's nice to see those.
That is some big league pitching right there, my man.
You ain't kidding, brother.
Amen to that, brother.
Adrian will lead off. Cleanup hitter. 1 for 2 tonight. Lays the bunt down against the ship. All for Call can do is pick it up and eat it. Take that.
You got to be shifting me. That's what Adrian is saying right now. You're going to play me that way? I'll just poke it that way. Thank you very much. There's a leadoff base runner.
Adrian is aboard for Miguel Tejada. Ball 1 down low. From the new hurler, Kenley Jansen. What a story this guy is.
Yeah, they're pretty high on this guy. He's got a good arm. Fastball, slider, change. You can get up to about 99 miles an hour in that fastball.
Barajas behind the plate. Late swing and a miss. Making tonight 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored. Jansen. Well, he's got 94-mile-per-hour heat and a foul tip. Breaking ball down and away and blocked by Barajas. Kenley Jansen was a catcher converted to pitching only last season during the 09 season. They liked what they saw after putting him on the mound, and just a year later he's in the big leagues. Made his big league debut July 24th.
Can you imagine this kid strapping on the gear behind home plate? That'd be a big catcher now.
6'5", over 250 pounds, and he blows it past Miggy at 95. A strikeout, one away. From Curacao to the Netherlands Antilles. Chase 0 for 2. He walked in the fourth. Go to first, chases back Adrian. You know, I mentioned tomorrow looks like a Latos-Kershaw matchup. If indeed Matt throws tomorrow, what that will do is it will allow him to pitch the last game of the Giants series. And if the Giants rotation stays the way it is, Sunday you're looking at a Latos-Lincecum matchup. So we'll see if that plays out. 4-2 Padres, bottom of the eighth.
Boy, a lot of knees and elbows coming at you with Jansen out there, huh? Over the top delivery. So 6'5". He's coming at you at about what? About 7.5, maybe even more, maybe 8 feet downhill.
Was in a strike at 96, 1-2.
It kind of comes from behind the ear too a little bit, and then that ball jumps up on you. You know, and that's natural for a catcher, because what does a catcher do?
Catches that's kind
straight
of
up to the ear. I mean, he comes out of the glove nicely, but he'll bring that ball back to his ear a little bit, almost like a catcher.
Two and two.
I mean, think about it. You're a catcher growing up. You get into professional baseball, you're a catcher. I mean, you are, if that's ingrained in your mind, that's just the way your body works, muscle memory. And then you have to go to the mound to try to create a whole new arm swing.
And he's made the conversion in a year. He got into the big leagues. And he gets back-to-back strikeouts. Tejada and now Headley. Venable due up and stares with that in his spot. For the pitcher spot, which was originally occupied by Venable. Will win out as part of the double switch. There's another pitcher who was a converted catcher that closed games for a lot of years in Southern California.
Well, I'm thinking of Felix Rodriguez, the guy for the Diamondbacks.
Not who I was thinking of.
And then he went to the Giants.
This guy was actually converted after his first year in pro ball. He was a catcher his first year in pro ball. Then the next year they switched him to pitching.
Which team?
Angels. Troy Percival.
I was going to say Percival.
Ten strikeouts now for Dodger pitching tonight. Stares, fouls it away.
Well, this is the kind of guy that Matt Stares loves to face. He's got the hard fastball, but the fastball is straight. Hardly any movement out of the hand of Jansen on that fastball. Also throws a slider and a changeup.
Looking at the Dodger ninth, you've got the pitcher spot, so we'll see a pinch hitter for Jansen in the top of the order. Put Setnick in for call. Here it was. Merritt went.
Yeah. See how far you can hit it. Jansen rearing back.
Lays off the high fastball. 2-2 on that. Fouled back by Stairs.
Hey, she still believes.
Strike three with a fastball on the outside corner. Heath Bell, who hasn't had a save opportunity in 18. University, Saturday, November 6th. John Legend will take the stage with special guest Macy Gray. Tickets are on sale now at Padres.com/concerts. The last save opportunity for Heath Bell, he converted. That was on August 19th at Wrigley Field.
Heath Bell has also converted each of his last 24 save opportunities. That's going back to May 29th. And, you know, it's the job of every reliever. If you don't get an opportunity, you've got to stay sharp in the pen. That arm is well rested for Heath Bell. He's got a 2-run cushion here in the ninth.
Jay Gibbons pinch hitting for the pitcher. Jansen takes a curveball, strike one. Another breaking ball and a swing and a miss.
First pitch breaking ball, second pitch breaking ball. Expanding the zone after getting ahead. He hasn't even seen a good old-fashioned fastball yet from Heath Bell.
Now he sees a fastball and it just barely missed, though Heath Looked like he said, my bad for some reason. It was up a bit.
Yeah, and not a bad 0-2 pitch off the plate just a little bit.
1-2 to Gibbons. Right about that same spot at 96, and it's 2-2. Top of the ninth. 4-2 Padres. A 2-2 to the pinch hitter, Jay Gibbons. Fastball fouled back.
Yeah, 3 fastballs in a row, so Gibbons maybe kind of timing that last one at 94. You drop a knee buckler on him right here.
Good one down low.
Hey, we've seen Heath Bell throw a 3-2.
Yes. What does he bring? 2-2. Curve in the dirt. Wave and a miss. Nick throws to first to complete the strikeout and a run away in the ninth.
This is where the catcher comes into play, and this is where Heath Bell says, you know what, you saw 3 fastballs. I'm not going to give you another chance. I'm going to put you away what I started you with. And did he just say thank you?
I think he said thank you, yeah.
He's very gentleman-like.
To his catcher, Nick Huffman.
Yeah.
Top of the LA order. Left fielder Scott Podsednik has gone deep tonight. His first as a Dodger. Takes the fastball, strike one. He yanked one out to right. Off Gregerson in the 7th. Down low.
Great job by the bullpen tonight. Heath Bell trying to finish it off.
Strike call on the fastball. 1-2.
So the Dodgers have out-hit the Padres tonight 9-7.
San Diego trying to stay a game up on the second place Giants. Protecting, he slaps it foul. Dodgers are stranded 9 tonight. Padres have left 6. One out, nobody on in the LA ninth. Bell's 1-2. Fastball upstairs. Another fastball fouled away by Podsednik. Padres give Podsednik a piece of right center. Curve in the dirt, he goes around. Podsednik strikes out. Both Ks in the inning for Bell. They come on the breaking ball.
And it's so hard to lay off because he's got the good fastball, but also the power curveball. Out of the hand, it looks like it might be a straight fastball. Look at that tilt on that. The old trap door buries it, and Nick Hundley applies the tag for the strikeout.
So the Dodgers down to their final out. Rafael Furcal, the hitter. The Padres' last win, August 25th, here at Petco against Arizona. Recall 3 hits tonight in 4 trips. Fastball, a strike.
Heath Bell is on a mission.
Mike Adams, an inning and 2/3 is scoreless relief tonight. 2 innings has been his longest outing of the season. Mujica, a third of an inning. 7 hurlers to the mound tonight for the Padres, and they're a strike away. One-two pitch. Fouled away. 4 innings for Stauffer in the spot start. 1 run, 4 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. He set the tone tonight.
Absolutely. And you know, I know this game is not over yet, 1 strike away, but you know in hockey how they have the 3 stars of the game?
A lot of good candidates.
6 stars go out tonight. 7. Make that 7. I think the pitching staff done a nice job. Offensively, yeah, 4 runs is great. Still 1 strike away.
To third. Chase. The losing streak from Hades is finally over. And the Padres jump back in the win column for the first time in 12 days. Padres win it 4-2. Good to see those smiles back. Padres win their 77th game of the season and end the 10-game losing skid. Yay, say the boys for the final out. We'll come back and wrap it up after this.